the best.
We are live from the M1 studios out here at the SABC Radio Park, and we gathered here for the second most anticipated event on the sporting calendar. That, of course, is the 2015 SA Sports Awards nominees event. That's basically what is happening here today. Thank you very much for joining us here on Morning Live, but more specifically, thank you very much to our guests for making it here, especially at this very early hour. My name is Mpoma Boy, and just to get us started on a very, very good and positive note, can we all please stand for the singing of the national anthem? Thank you so very much, ladies and gentlemen. That was a very good rendition of the national anthem. I must say that we seem to be in the spirit of what will be taking place on the 22nd of November. But also thank you very much to the SABC choir for that beautiful accompaniment. Now, 2015 marks a very special year when it comes to the SA Sports Awards. It marks 10 years of absolute excellence and 10 years of celebrating sporting excellence. Let's quickly take a look at what this 10 years has entailed so far.
You give your best every time you compete.
South Africa's dream is alive once more.
Your best is what makes us proud.
Well, South African swimming's never had an Olympics like it.
And when your best turns into success, we're there with you to celebrate.
Unbelievable scenes.
Over the past 10 years, the SA Sport Awards have recognized and rewarded you for your best. SABC Sport is the official host broadcaster of the 10th Annual SA Sports Awards, live from Mangaung.
The best.
Of course, this year's theme is excellence is not just your best, it is doing your best. And having seen that, AV, you can actually see that over the past 10 years, everything has been nothing but excellent. And now I am joined on our panel discussion, of course, by the Group CEO of SABC, Frans Matlala. Thank you very much for joining us here. Can you just quickly welcome everybody here in the spirit of the SABC?
Thank you, Mpo. I would like firstly to welcome everyone who's here. Welcome the audience at home, but I think I would be amiss if I didn't specifically mention some of the senior officials that are here. I'll start firstly by our Minister of Sports and Recreation, Mr. Fikile Mbalula, Mr. Rasmatas. And of course, I'll go to Gert Oosthuizen, who's the Deputy Minister, the MEC for Sports, Arts and Culture in the Free State, is it More Matabo Lieto, and then of course the executive mayor of Mangaung Metro, Councillor Thabo Manyoni, who's going to be hosting this award event. The DG of Sports and Recreation, Ndate Alec Moemi, the CEO of SASCOC, Ndate Tabi Reddy, and of course fellow colleagues at the SABC, members of the media. As I said to all our audience at home, it's a great privilege for the SABC to be here 10 years after we started a long journey with this particular property, the South African Sports Award. Thank you.
It is indeed an absolute amazing journey. Now I need to bring in Minister Mbalula, Minister Razmataz. Now, it is 10 years in the making, but why is it that we have these prestigious awards every single year? Some would say just you winning an award or winning a medal at the end of whatever game you're playing, that's enough. Why the need for the South African Sports Awards?
First, I think I want to join the Group CEO, Mr. Matlala, for welcoming us at the SABC. The SABC have been with the Sports Awards right from the inception. This Sports Awards is the brainchild of the South African Broadcasting Corporation. And they went on to partner with the Free State government in the years later on. But the SABC have actually taken it upon themselves to prioritize the importance of celebrating excellence in sports through the Sports Awards. I also want to acknowledge the MEC of Sports, Matabo Lieto, from the Free State, who's the MEC of Sports, Arts and Culture, and the Executive Mayor, Ndate Thabo Manyoni, and the Deputy Minister, Ndate Gert Oosthuizen, the CEO of SASCOC, Tabi Reddy, the DG, and all staff of SRSA, and all federations present here today. Most importantly, the nominees who are present here, and those who are not here because of commitments elsewhere, and they continue to compete to the launch of the 10th, of the Sports Awards. I can't emphasize the importance of the Sports Awards. I mean, we recognize people when they are dead, and then we forget about them. We have made it our business at the Sports Indaba 5 years ago to 7 years now ago. The sports movement said to us, revive the Sports Awards, because we need to recognize people, we need to celebrate excellence. It's not about money, it is about what our athletes are actually doing. You know, when I became Minister of Sports, and I repeat this all time ago, who's this guy who's a boxing trainer, very popular? I forget his name all the time. Nick Duran, yeah, the one and only. And I met him after the fight of Nonitenge at Emperor's Palace. And then I went to greet him and so on. He said, Minister, when Mandela was still alive, Madiba, we used to go in the world fight at Madison Square Garden, MGM Arena in Las Vegas, where I come from, to see my friend Floyd Mayweather. And then he said we'll go there and compete and actually come back. And Madiba, whether he knew you or he doesn't know you, will write a note, congratulations. And that make you feel good. And then he said Steve Twitter used to do the same. And then he said, now, Minister, we don't even know the door of Parliament. Where is it? And then we don't get recognized, we are just on our own. We don't know what we are doing, whether it's for ourselves, we're just doing it for our families. And then we went to the sports movement, and then we agreed we need to revive the Sports Award. And to answer your question, this is about reviving human spirits. To know that when you compete, you raise the flag, you're doing it for the nation. And this is why it's important every year, and this year we're 10 years old. And thank you very much to everybody else. And we have believed in the product, and we are growing bigger and better.
Apologies, Mr. Minister. We just need to change your mic just a bit quickly. But I will quickly move on to Ntate Matlala. Now, 10 years in the making, the minister is mentioning the fact that SABC has been a huge part of this. Why the need to get involved in something like this, besides the fact that it is about awarding excellence, and obviously everyone else needs to see it. It can't happen, under a cloth somewhere.
I think we have to understand this in the context of the role of a public broadcaster. And the public broadcaster has a public service mandate. Our job is to ensure that that public mandate that we've been given is fulfilled. But as far as sports is concerned, I think to celebrate sports excellence is being done for a reason, and the SABC has to play a role. Why are we doing this? We want to inspire interest in sports so that talent throughout the country, irrespective of where you can find it. And for the SABC, because it's a broadcaster that's seen and heard throughout the entire country. As you know, we've got 18 radio stations, we've got 3 broadcast channels. So it doesn't really matter where you are, in a remote village, in a peri-urban township, in the townships, or even in suburbia. Why? We're saying to unearth talent.
Yeah.
Because excellence invokes something. Everybody needs to be recognized because it's actually important. When we inspire interest in sports, it'll allow us to unearth talent, but far more important, it'll help us with sports development. One of the big issues we have in the country, we always say, why is it that our big sporting functions are not performing as well as they should? But one of the things we forget is we need to make sure that the foundation into that excellence is built right from the beginning. Now, this Sports Awards is an integral part of enabling that. Remember that. It's about celebrating excellence, inspire young people to take an interest in sports. In that way, we unearth talent. Through that, we develop sport. And if we develop and nurture our sport, there is no reason why, as a country, we cannot continue to excel. We, as the SABC, we see that one of our public mandates is to play a central role in this particular initiative.
Definitely. Thank you so very much, Ntate Matlala, for letting us know exactly how the SABC gets involved. Now, do stay with us. We're going to take a quick ad break, and then when we return, we'll be joined by more panelists as we thrash out the 2015 SA Sports Awards.